Hello, my name is Caleb Howitt. I'm from Halifax, Nova Scotia, and today I'll be teaching you about the skeletal system. The skeletal system. Why we have the skeletal system? Well, I have 5 reasons why we have the skeletal system. For support, so our body doesn't collapse on itself. For storage of minerals, it stores calcium salts in the bones. And calcium is the most abundant mineral in our body. It goes up to 1 to 2 kilograms. Blood cell production, white blood cells, red blood cells, and platelets. And they're all made in the marrow. What platelets do is they heal over when you get a cut or like a bruise. And white blood cells protect you from invading viruses or diseases, and blood cells carry oxygen through your body. Well, red blood cells carry oxygen through your body. Okay, protection. Your rib cage protects your heart and your lungs. A few other organs. Your head protects your brain, and your pelvis protects your digestive system and your reproductive organs. And leverage, your muscles pull against your bones. Your muscles pull against your bones, and so you have locomotion, so you can move, and that's why we have the skeletal system. Structure of bone, or osseous tissue. The bone matrix is the fluid around the bone that feeds the bone and keeps it healthy. Okay, calcium phosphate. It accounts for 2/3 of the weight of the bone. The way it happens is the calcium phosphate interacts with other calcium salts and they form crystals, which makes the bone hard to break. And it's so hard to break, but it's not very flexible. That's where collagen fiber comes in. Collagen fiber accounts for 1/3 of the weight of the bone. It can stretch, it can bend, it can twist, and it's pretty resistant to not breaking. And then when it's compressed, it simply moves out of the way so it doesn't get broken. The cells of mature bones. First cell I'm going to talk to you about is osteocytes. And they maintain the bone. And they make sure that protein and minerals get into the bone matrix to keep the bone healthy. And they make sure that calcium gets where it needs to go throughout the bone and in the bloodstream. And osteoblasts are cuboidal cells, and they form bone through the process of osteogenesis. Osteoprogenitor cells, which are on the inside of the bone. They line the medullary cavity, and what's special about them is they can divide and then diffuse into osteoblasts. So if you break or fracture a bone, then they aid in helping you heal faster. Okay, the next cell is osteoclasts, and which they erode the bone through exocytosis of the lysosome. So you have to have a good balance of osteoblasts and osteoclasts in the bone. A balance of osteoclasts and osteoblasts are essential for bone maintenance. Compact and sponge bone. Okay. Compact bone is the dense bone on the outer side of the bone. The bone is made of ostein, and running through the bone we have blood vessels going through your bone parallel and perpendicular. Now, sponge bone. Sponge bone is on the inner side of the bone. You can see this is the compact bone on the outside, and this is the sponge bone on the inside. And those branchings that you see, those are called terbicula, which make the bone really strong, with its interconnectedness. And so that makes it just as strong as a compact bone, but it makes it lighter weight, so your skeleton can move without being weighed down by all this bone. Functional differences between compact and spongy bone. Okay. Compact bone. The compact bone thickens when you put stress on it. Yeah. So if you keep playing sports that you use a lot of legs, then the bones in your legs will get stronger and thicker. Well, the compact bone will. And but if you don't use your upper body, it'll just get smaller or just stay the same. But if you apply too much pressure in a certain direction, like if you try to bend a long bone in the wrong direction, it'll apply too much pressure to it, it'll snap and break. It's not too flexible. And your bone has 3 parts to it. You have the epiphysis at the top, those are the head, and then the metaphysis, which is the neck, and then you got the diaphysis in the middle. So you see it right here. So you see the 2 epiphyses, the metaphysis for the neck and the diaphysis. Yeah. Sponge bone. It resists more stress applied from different directions. The sponge bone houses the marrow, and the marrow provides energy for the rest of the body. Periosteum and endosteum. The periosteum covers the whole bone, and there's 4 functions that it does for the bone. It protects your bone and isolates it, so it's less likely to get abrasions. And it provides a root and a place for the circulatory and nervous system, for their supply. It aids in bone growth and repair, and it helps your bone connect to the connective tissues. The endosteum. The endosteum is on the inside of the medullary cavity, but it's only 1 cell thick because it doesn't have to stand to any abrasions. And it is made up of osteogenesis cells, which can diffuse into osteoblasts if you break your bone. Okay, development and growth of the bone. Calcification. Calcification refers to the calcium settling within the bone. And ossification refers to tissue changing into bone. As you can see, the fetus right here, as in the lobes of the head, you can see the dark pattern right here, that's bone forming from tissue. Segment bones. An example of segment bone is a patella. It is the kneecap, and these usually form near ligaments or tendons or in joints. These never have any periosteum on them, and few people have segment bones in all places that are possible to have them, but everybody has a kneecap.